is part of a line consisting of two endpoints and then everything between them. The segment has two endpoints. Endpoint stops or goes on? Stops. Good. A segment stops at both ends. So it's part of a line, it's a chunk of it, that has two endpoints. When you label a segment, pick the two endpoints, A and B, and then you just put a segment over it. Notice there's no arrows. It doesn't go on forever, it stops. So you just put a little segment on top. Array, also part of a line, consisting of one endpoint, and then all the points on one side of it. Array has one endpoint, and then all the other points going to one side. Still part of a line. Do you know what that is? Apple tree, good. Do you know what that is? Sun, excellent. Did you ever put sunglasses on your sons growing up? No? Okay. This like segment here that starts at the sun and then it just keeps going towards Earth forever is a what? A sun ray, right? Yeah. A sun ray starts at the sun, it has one endpoint, and then it goes on forever until it hits something on Earth. Get it? Do you get my connection? Okay. Yeah. All right. A ray has one endpoint and then it goes in some direction forever. The endpoint is the first letter when you name it. So I am calling this ray YX. Y because that's the endpoint. And then it goes towards X. It's hard to tell up here, but this is a little tiny ray. It has one endpoint and then it's got one arrow. Your symbol will always point to the right. The first letter will always be the endpoint. The second letter is the direction in which it's going. So if you got a line, it has two arrows. A ray gets one arrow and an end or segment gets none. You have to make sure you know the difference between them. Opposite rays. Two collinear rays with the same endpoint. Collinear, meaning line, on the same line. Opposite rays will always share an endpoint, and they will always form a line. You have a highlighter, or you can write capitalized or bold. Opposite rays always form a line. Share an endpoint, form a line. Those are the two key parts of an opposite ray. So in our picture here, we have line QR. Ray RQ. Starts at R or it starts at Q? R. First letter is where it starts. And then the second letter tells you which direction it's going. So it's actually going to go back to the left. There's Ray RQ. Ray RS starts at which letter? R. And then it's going towards which one? S. These are opposite rays because they share the same endpoint, R, and they create a line. They go on forever now in both directions. Opposite rays. Share an endpoint, form a line. Don't forget it. Got it? Good. Nice. Parallel lines. What do you know about them? Jacob? They never intersect, and they're coplanar. We didn't really talk about that in previous academic years, but they're coplanar lines that don't intersect. Ben, coplanar meaning what? Good. Way to use your resources, kid. Two lines that don't intersect that are on the same plane. Excellent. Emily, remember those lines I had you describe at the beginning? That they didn't intersect, but they weren't also parallel, right? Those we call skew lines. Skew lines are non-coplanar, non-intersecting, and non-parallel. They do not sit on the same plane, they do not hit each other, but they also are not parallel. Skew. Non-coplanar, non-parallel, non-intersecting lines. Skew lines in the room. This red poster, it's a line, so it's going to go on forever that way. Well, in that way. The flagpole, we're going to call it a line, so it's going to go through the wall here. Will the flagpole ever hit this poster when it extends out? No. Are they on the same plane? This one's going through it, so is it on it? No. So these would be skew. This and this are skew to each other. The yellow poster, going on forever because it's a line. And the pole holding up the projector, it's going to go on forever. Is this pole ever going to intersect that yellow poster? No. Are they parallel though? No, because one's running vertical and one's running horizontal, so that would be skew. Okay, non-parallel, non-intersecting, non-coplanar lines. It'd be like the electrical strip that goes all along the back wall and the lamp pole. Those would be skew because they're not on the same plane. Definitely not parallel. One's horizontal and one's vertical, but they're also never going to hit each other because they're 6 feet apart. Okay. Skew lines. In your picture there, your little diagram, it says line AB is blank to line EF. Here's AB. Here's EF. What are they? Parallel. We have a symbol for parallel. Two parallel lines. You can write out the word parallel if you want, but I'm going to use the symbol. Okay. The symbol for parallel is two parallel lines. How about line AB and line CG? Skew. Those are skew lines. Definitely not parallel, horizontal versus vertical, but they're also not going to hit each other because like one's in the front of the room and the other one's in the back corner of the room. All right. Parallel planes. What are they? Yeah, planes that don't intersect. Exactly. Flat surfaces that go on forever but won't intersect. Example in the classroom would be what? The math book and what else? In the desk? Okay, good. I'll take that. What else? The north and south walls? Okay. Riley? The west and east walls? Okay. This is nice. You guys always face north in my room. Cool, huh? I know, it's weird. How about the ceiling and the floor? Hopefully they are parallel to each other. How about the ceiling and your desktop? Parallel? Mm-hmm. Your desktop and the floor? Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's take all those and put them into action here. Number 1, name the segments and rays in the figure. Segments, there's 2 of them, and there's 2 rays. Forgot an S there, sorry. All right, segments. Stop, go on forever. One side stops, one side goes on forever. You both stop, right? Okay. So anyone have any idea what one segment might be? Sarah? Segment A? How many endpoints do segments have? 2, so they have to have 2 letters then. There you go, segment AB. Yes. AB and BA, when you're talking about a segment, would mean the same thing. What kind of symbol should I put up? With arrows? No arrows. Those are the same, AB and BA. What's our other segment in the figure? Yeah, segment CB or segment BC, however you want to write it. Remember, where 2 lines, rays, or segments intersect, they're going to intersect at a point. So B, even though it wasn't like a circle, that is still a point. Okay, now we have to find 2 rays. Riley. What? Ray A? Yeah, I understand what you're saying, like starting here and going this way. Is that right? Okay. But rays, well, if I start at B, which direction is it going towards then? Good. I could do both ways. So if I stick with the same ray that you're talking about, it would start at B, and then it goes towards which letter? A. So then that green one, I would say that is ray BA. It starts at B and it goes towards A. So you need 2 letters to name a ray. And then BC would be our other ray. It starts at B and it goes towards C. Would it be accurate to say that ray BC is the same as ray CB? No, because this one is telling me it starts where? C and going towards B. But I don't want that one. We have the one that's starting at B and going towards C. All right. Segments, 2 endpoints. Rays, 1 endpoint, and then it goes on forever. Still need 2 letters to name them, just like lines. Number 2 at the bottom there, using that figure. Part A says, name all segments that are parallel to line AE. Here's line AE. We need to find all the segments in this diagram that are parallel to AE. Brady, you got one? DH. JC. BF. Dylan, you got a parallel line segment? Yes, it would. Any other ones? Shake your heads no. Good. Make sure you have the segment symbol on top of each letter because it says name all the segments that are parallel to the line. So you gotta put the segment symbol on there. Part B says name all segments that are skew to AE. So now we're trying to find the segments that are skew to AE. Meaning they can't be parallel, but they also can't intersect. Tyler, you got one? DC, good. DC would be skew to AE. Try. HG, excellent. This one is skew to AE. Jacob? Yes, BC. There's one more skew line. Emma? Good, GF. Can't list the blue ones because we already said those are parallel. And the ones that I haven't marked at all intersect that line, so they also can't be skew. So you should have 4 skew lines and 3 parallel lines. Excuse me, segments. Make sure you have your segment thing over them. Once you have this answer, go ahead and flip it to 3. Go ahead and answer that one. Planes are parallel if they blank. And then identify a pair of parallel planes in the room. Cade, what makes planes parallel? When they don't intersect. Cade, what's an example in the room? Excellent. Yeah, we did. We talked about them earlier. They're parallel if they don't intersect. The ceiling and floor would be one of many examples. Number 4, in the figure, ray CB and ray BC form a line. Ray CB starts at which letter? And goes towards B. Good, so to hang out to the right. Ray BC starts at which letter? And then goes towards C. So do you agree that they form a line? I do. They go on forever in both directions. Are they opposite rays? Oh, I hear mixed emotions. Good. These would not be opposite rays because they do not share an endpoint. One starts at B, one starts at C. In order to be opposite rays, you have to start at the same endpoint. You have to have the same endpoint. Are they opposite rays? Not opposite rays since they don't share an endpoint. Yep, they create the line, but they have to start at the same spot. No overlapping there. All right, go ahead and do 5 on your own. Name all the labeled segments. Rose, which segment do you have that's parallel to GF? HE? Rain? Good. Paige? Excellent. There are your 3 parallel segments. And then you have to find the segments that are skewed to GF. Sid? DC. Maddie? I just didn't hear what you said. Skew to GF? What's it mean to be skew? Not intersect. Good. Would BA work? Right? Okay, because they're not parallel, but they don't intersect also. Okay, good. BA or AB, depending on however you chose to write it. Rashid, you have a different skew line? AE, good. Jack? And DH, good. There are your 4 skew ones. Part C, I'm going to trust that you found a pair of parallel segments and a pair of skew segments there. Part A on number 6, using the diagram, name 3 pairs of parallel lines. 3 pairs of parallel lines. Colleen, if I say line PT, which line would be parallel to that guy? RU would work. So when I go to write this, you guys, line PT is parallel to line RU. With symbols, it looks like that, but when you read it, you would say line PT is parallel to line RU. There's 1 pair of parallel lines. We gotta find 2 more. Cheyenne? UV, good. Line TW is parallel to line UV. Veronica, you got one? Good. Line SW is parallel to line QV. And there's many more. But that just gets you into the notation of what you'll be writing here soon. B, which line is parallel to line PQ? Here's PQ. TV. Good. Line TV would be parallel to line PQ. You could do VT. Yep, you just gotta make sure you have your double arrows since it's asking for a line. And then C says name a line that's parallel to plane QRUV. QRUV would be the right side here of the spots. Which line in the diagram is parallel? Sarah? Which line is parallel to that plane? PT. PT would be one line that's parallel to the plane. Is there another line that's parallel? Which one? TW, and then I think I heard PS. And lastly, SW. All four of these lines are parallel to that plane. If you think of the red plane as being the right side of the room, that wall, that line that's connecting the ceiling over there is parallel to that one. That line over there will never hit this wall. The vertical one will never hit this wall. Yes, sir. Yes. PW would also work. If I connected the top to the floor, that diagonal line would never hit it. Good job. Number 7. How are parallel and skew lines alike? What makes them similar? Sarah? Well, yeah, what else? Morgan? Good, they never intersect. Parallel lines never intersect, skew lines never intersect. That's what makes them alike. How are they different? Tyler? Okay. What's the definition of parallel? What's the new word we added this year? So you probably coplanar. Good. Are skew lines coplanar? No, they can't be on the same plane. Remember the pole and the ceiling and then the yellow thing? So they're different because parallel lines are coplanar. Ooh, hang on. And skew lines are non-coplanar. There's your homework. Wow. Tomorrow you'll have a worksheet over these two sections.